You're listening to the Meaningful Minutes with Nikki Olson podcast. This is a show for busy Latter-day Saint women who want to learn simple tools to feel confident and inspired in 10 minutes or less. Welcome. On this episode, we will discuss how you can have better mental health through gratitude. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I am focusing on bettering your mental health so that you can feel more peace, confidence, and energy moving forward with anything you have. I'm covering 4 key strategies that will help you be better prepared to face future challenges. And this week, I'm covering gratitude. There have been a ton of studies on the benefits of gratitude. In fact, back in November of last year, the year of all years, 2020, President Nelson gave an invitation for a global prayer of gratitude. He said, there is no medication or operation that can fix the spiritual woes and I always get this word wrong, maladies that we face. There is, however, a remedy, one that may seem surprising. I'm referring to the healing power of gratitude. Does gratitude spare us from sorrow, sadness, grief, or pain? No. But it does soothe our feelings. It provides us with a greater perspective on the very purpose and joy of life. Expressing that gratitude could become a healing spirit in our lives. Then he went on to asked us to spend a week posting about gratitude with the hashtag #GiveThanks. If a prophet is telling me that gratitude is important and can be healing, then that is something I want other people to understand as well as a therapist. It's pretty obvious that if we're grateful, that we can be happier. But it can also make you spiritually strong when we have a grateful attitude. Elder Bednar said that the spiritual gift of gratitude enables our appreciation for what we have to constrain desires for what we want. A grateful person is rich in contentment. An ungrateful person suffers in the poverty of endless discontentment. You know that feeling of never feeling good enough, or that feeling of never measuring up, or that you're always failing? Sounds like gratitude can also help you feel content with who you are and what you do. As I was preparing for this podcast, I ran across a talk called A Grateful Heart by Ray L. Huntington. And he gave this talk in a BYU devotional back in October of 2012. And he was talking about a researcher by the name of Robert Emmons who studied gratitude. And Dr. Emmons said that gratitude is literally one of the few things that can measurably change people's lives. That's a pretty profound statement coming from a researcher, right? Dr. Emmons and his colleagues found a scientific proof that people who practice gratitude through activities such as keeping a gratitude journal are more loving, forgiving, and optimistic about the future. And they exercise more frequently, report fewer illnesses, and generally feel better about their lives. This Dr. Emmons did a 10-week study and randomly assigned participants into 3 groups. So the first group was people who recorded 5 things they were grateful for each week. The second group were people who described 5 hassles or negative events they had each week. And the third group was simply asked to list 5 events, but not told to empathize with positive or negative on either side, just 5 events. Before each participant wrote about their blessings or hassles, they completed a daily journal where they rated their moods, like their physical health, their overall well-being, their moods, and physical health like headaches, sore muscles, stomach pain, or poor appetite. And the participants also rated how they felt about their lives. So they would say, I felt terrible or delighted with my life. After the 10 weeks, their results were pretty impressive for the gratitude group. So the gratitude participants felt better about their lives and were more optimistic about the future than the other 2 groups. The gratitude group also reported fewer health concerns, like headaches, spent significantly more time exercising than the other 2 groups. According to that scale, also, the people in the gratitude group were 25% happier than the participants in the hassles or the neutral group. So he went on to do more studies about this, and he found that people who regularly kept a gratitude journal had the habit of recognizing and expressing gratitude for their blessings, were more connected to other people and had better relationships. And they were also more likely to help other people and feel less lonely. They also felt less depressed, slept better, and just were more pleasant to be around. But gratitude is more than a feeling. It's a choice you make and a mindset you choose to have. It's not an easy choice, though. It's a process. I'm sure you're saying your prayers and you're expressing gratitude in each and every one of them. But the harder part is being grateful in the times of difficulty. To do that, you must bring gratitude into your day in more than just your prayers. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to bring more gratitude into your life. So the first one, gratitude journal. Like Dr. Emmons showed us, that even writing down 5 things that daily that you can be life-changing. I personally use my outline for Seeking Revelation every day to do that, and I've linked that in the show notes if you want to check that out. But I have a whole section in there for gratitude every day where you focus on seeing the hand of the Lord in your day and writing those down before you say your prayers. The second thing is to add gratitude into your vocabulary. So use words of gratitude rather than complaint. Like, talk about what's going right, not what's going wrong. The third thing is you could write notes or letters of appreciation to people who have made a difference in your life. Expressing that in writing can also be helpful in changing your perception and helping you have gratitude in your life throughout the day. The fourth one is to give thanks in the moment with a prayer in your heart. Don't just notice that thing that happened and say, oh, I'll write that down later, or I want to be sure to remember that for my prayer. Actually say a prayer right then in your heart. You can also write it down later too. And number 5 is turn your social media into a gratitude journal. Just like President Nelson says, it is so good to flood the world with things that we're grateful for. So I've outlined these 5 ideas in the handout for this episode, which is also linked in the show notes. So check out those show notes to download it and remind yourself to bring more gratitude into your life daily. I hope these minutes you spent with me were meaningful, helped you feel inspired and more confident. Check out my show notes for links to my website, social media, and free handouts for remembering how to implement the skills. I know there are other women that could use this information. Leaving a review is a great way for other women to hear this message. If you'd like more daily inspiration and guidance, please come find me on Instagram at Nikki Olson Coaching. If you share this episode, please tag me. I love to connect with my listeners. Thank you for listening to the Meaningful Minutes podcast with Nikki Olson.